Hi, I'm Will Banthorpe. I'm here with Gym Club Solutions and I'm going to take you through today a tutorial on the Stuts to handstand on parallel bars, and we are going to cover preparations from the basic skill right the way through to building it up on the floor and up onto the high bars with pads, and then removing pads and how to support the full skill, the Stuts to handstand on the high parallel bars. Okay, so for our first basic progression, we're going to start down here on the floor, and as you can see I've drawn two chalk lines on the floor. These are roughly going to be the width of your gymnast shoulders, so the wider your gymnast, the wider the chalk lines, and these are to simulate what will be eventually the parallel bars. To start with, our gymnast is going to start in the back support position with their chest and their hips lifted up. They're going to transfer their weight onto one arm, lifting their arm up to touch their shoulder, and then hop around to catch back onto what would be the parallel bars. So if we watch that one more time, the gymnast can start slowly. Important to maintain the completely straight body shape, the chest and the hips lifted throughout. Start slowly, and then as the gymnast gets more confident, they'll do more speed and it will become more of a fluent movement. So if we do this one nice and fast, Luca, hips up and hop, turning to catch into a nice straight body, tight front support position. So the next step up of this progression would be to introduce the floor bars here, which simulate the parallel bars a lot more accurately. And also we start to incline the height of the feet, so we're building the height up here. And we're going to perform exactly the same exercise, the half turn, the baby Stuts to catch in the front support position. Again, same points, gymnast keeps their body nice and straight, lean onto one bar, hop and turn to catch two bars. As the gymnast becomes more confident, they can increase the speed of the turn. And again, catching nice chest in, round position, head neutral, arms locked dead straight. So to support this skill, sit down next to the gymnast so that they turn the opposite way, they turn away from you. I'm going to take one hand underneath his body and onto his hip, and my second hand is going to be on his thigh. And all I'm going to do is pull his hip to rotate him underneath and assist the turn. Catching in this solid position. And again, once the gymnast is able to perform it slowly, we can perform it a little bit faster. So hand underneath onto the hip, other hand on the thigh, and go. So now we're going to move on to the parallel bars. Most important thing here as a prerequisite is to make sure our gymnast swings are correct and high enough. So if you do need tips on your gymnast swing to handstand, visit the previous video on the swing to handstand for some really cool tips and ways on how to build that up for your gymnast there. Okay, so assuming our gymnast is confident in a swing to handstand with a really dynamic and high front swing, we then can progress on to the Stuts preps as follows. The gymnast is going to stand in a back support. He's going to walk his feet forwards in front of him. So he's got a nice stretch through his shoulders. Again, you can see he's keeping his chest and his hips lifted, head in a neutral position. And similarly to the prep we did over on the floor, he's going to transfer his weight onto one arm and rotate around and catch in a nice solid front support position, chest in, arms locked straight, and eyes looking dead center between his hands. To support this skill, we'll do it in a similar way as before. Hands on the hips, keeping the hips up, and assist the gymnast in rotating around, catching in the solid front support position, legs tight, hips squeezed, chest in, head position neutral, looking between his hands. So then, moving on to the swinging part of the skill, we're now ready for the gymnast to attempt a baby Stuts. You can see here we've got pads and blocks, so pads on the bars to protect the gymnast's feet in case they go wonky and bash into the bars. We have a block underneath in case they do slip or miss, so it's a nice safe area for them to land on. And also you can see I've built myself up a nice stable platform so that my waist is higher than the bar, so I am high enough and over on top of the bars to give me plenty of height to support and catch my gymnast. So support wise, here I'm going to have hand on the front on the gymnast's chest, hand on the back as they perform the swings. When they swing to the front to begin the turn, my hand is then going to adjust onto the gymnast's shoulder, and then my right arm is going to come underneath and catch the legs to hold the gymnast up in the air so that they're comfortable in the catch. As they get more and more comfortable, I'll reduce the support so that the gymnast is catching and immediately swinging down, and then eventually get to the point where I, as a coach, can step away and I can watch the gymnast perform this exercise unaided. Okay, so make sure you count your gymnasts in clearly. Coach must be in control. Agree with your gymnast before you start which swing we are going to turn on. So Luca, we're going to go on 3. Are we ready? One hand on the front, on the back. 1, 2 this time, and swing. Now we're ready to reduce the support. So I'm going to support in the same way, but instead of fully catching the gymnast, I'm just going to be there to shadow and then take my hand out to allow him to swing through and feel the catch and swing and support more on his own. Ready, and 1, and 2 this time. Okay, so when your gymnast is confident performing with the catch, we can reduce the support. So I don't fully catch the gymnast this time, I'm going to support but then release so the gymnast catches and feels the swing through more unaided. 1, 2 this time. When the gymnast is confident again that you've supported and not caught them, but they're feeling the catch on their own, coach can then step away and let the gymnast try this step unaided. And then the next steps from here would be the gymnast will naturally start to do it at a lower level. As they become more confident, encourage the gymnast to lift their heels higher in the backswing and then attack the front swing higher. And this, again, with confidence, the level of the front and the backswing will build higher and higher until the gymnast is performing the Stuts towards 45 degrees. For the shape of the backswing, what we're really looking for is the gymnast to keep their chin up, their shoulders on top of their hands, and their heels leading the backswing. So this is the position we're looking for the gymnast to swing at the back. Shoulders on top of their hands, chin up looking towards the end of the rails, heels lifted, ready to create a nice open hipped downswing and kick at the front into the Stuts. Okay, so we're going to go on 3. Again, the gymnast is going to perform 3 backswings in the arch position, keeping the chin up and the shoulders on top of their hands. So 1, heels higher, 2, nice, 3 this time, and baby Stuts. Fantastic. So a common mistake at this point is for the gymnast to perform the Stuts and as they turn, pull themselves into a strong dish or a pike position because they're really keen to get their feet down on the mat because they're a little bit nervous about the catch. So really try to encourage here the gymnast as they turn to catch in an open hip position so they swing down nice and straight rather than as they turn into a strong dish or pike position to try to stand on the mat. Final point is the Stuts is actually more difficult to perform from lower swings because it gives the gymnast less time to perform the skill. It is, however, more scary to perform the gymnast from a higher swing, but by performing the swings higher, it does allow the gymnast more time. So again, with confidence, that balance between how easy they'll find the skill and the confidence in doing it will really come through. And as they start to swing higher, you'll find that they're actually finding the skill a lot more easy to complete themselves. Okay, so the next exercise to develop the height of your Stuts at the front will be what I call the Stuts flank. And this is like a flank vault dismount, but the gymnast takes this to handstand. Okay, so the coach can support this, support the swings same way, hand front and hand back for the swings. As the gymnast attacks into the Stuts flank, My left hand will move onto his shoulder, and my right hand will take his thighs to assist him in the turn, and he's going to perform a half turn to finish in a handstand position with his left hand staying on the parallel bars and his right hand will be on the purple mat. 1, 2, this time. Alright, so the final step is then to perform the complete skill. So we're now going to perform the Stuts to handstand, supported in exactly the same way as we supported the flank vault, but instead of keeping the left hand on the bar and turning onto the mat, the gymnast is going to hop the left hand across to the other bar and catch both hands onto the parallel bars to finish in handstand. 1, 2, this time. So once your gymnast has built the confidence with support, with the pads and the mats around them, you can then feel free to be in the position where we can start to remove some mats and be more on what is like a competition set of bars. Obviously, eventually these will go higher, but to start with, removing the mats is a good confidence builder for the gymnast. Start to perform the skill with support, and as and when the gymnast feels that they are performing, or you feel that they're performing with minimal support, feel free to step back, pad up the bars again, put some mats in, back a stage with the pads and the mats, allow the gymnast to perform on their own and follow the same procedure in removing the mats as and when they feel confident and ready. So that completes our tutorial on the Stuts to handstand. Just to recap, Stuts is a big confidence move for the gymnast. So if at any point the gymnast is feeling unsure or afraid or nervous, feel free to put lots of pads and mats under. The more pads and mats the gymnast has got, the more confident they're going to be to attack the skill. And when they really try and attack it, they'll start to make progress and they'll build that up to handstand. But never fear to go back a stage and add some extra mats and for confidence. Plenty of support. Enjoy. I hope it's been helpful. Have a good one. Thank you.